foremost, I'd like to say thank you to everyone for having me here tonight. I appreciate the opportunity to speak to you all, and I appreciate the time that you're taking to hear both Ashby and me speak to why we're interested in being the next clerk of court and why we would appreciate your consideration. So, first and foremost, I know some folks in the room. I don't know everyone, so I'll tell you a little bit about myself and a little bit more about my work experience. Even the folks that know me probably don't know what I've been up to at work for the last 17 years, right? And why it might fit well with the clerk's office. So, I am from Greene. I grew up here on a farm just over up 230 on Dundee Road. My husband and I purchased a farm just up from where I grew up, so we're close to where my parents live. And we have 2 children that are in the Greene County school systems. I have lived here pretty much all of my life, except for the time that I took to go away and get my degrees at college and then at law school. So to speak a little bit to my educational experience, I graduated from William Monroe High School in 1997. I then went to the University of Virginia, where I obtained a Bachelor of Arts in English. And then after that, I moved to Richmond for 3 years, where I obtained my Juris Doctor from the University of Richmond Law School. So during that time, I was away from Greene. In 2004, when I graduated from the University of Richmond, I stayed there for my bar review classes and took the bar. I'm a licensed attorney within the state, though I have chosen to keep inactive status because I'm not a practicing attorney. I chose a different career path. Practicing law was not necessarily the path for me, but I care about the rule of law. I care about our legal system and process. And so the path that I chose was to work in the legal information and solutions industry. And as part of that, I was fortunate enough to obtain a job at LexisNexis, which was located, they had an office in Charlottesville at the time in 2005. They had been there for over 100 years at that point. It had been the Mickey Company before LexisNexis, so a lot of folks recognize it as the Mickey Company still in this area. LexisNexis provides legal information and solutions to attorneys, government agencies. The general public can access the information. There's free websites where certain laws and what have you are available, but the office in Charlottesville and what I worked in was primarily state code law. The company's large. They provide legal products and information for any facet of the law for use, but it was state code and legislation in Charlottesville and what my experience is. I have experience as a legal analyst where I worked with legislation on a regular basis to make sure that changes to the state codes were incorporated quickly and accurately for customers and provided to them in a timely fashion, both online and in print. Also, during my time at LexisNexis, was fortunate enough to hold manager and director positions. So I have experience in team management, project management. I've collaborated with technology teams, collaborated with government agencies to ensure that items are clearly updated correctly and provided to customers in a timely basis for the law. I haven't actually worked on Virginia law. So LexisNexis has codes and laws that are available for all 50 states plus the federal government, but my experience has been in Vermont and Texas and Alabama. The processes are very similar, but I just didn't have the opportunity while there to actually work on Virginia. So that's a little bit about me. I chose to run for clerk of court because I believe that my experience will lend well to the role. I understand the types of materials that attorneys need access to in the clerk's office on a regular basis that other departments may need. I understand the types of documents that you, the public, may need to file, why it's important, the judicial process in general, I have understanding of. I don't necessarily have the day-to-day office experience and the specific processes, but I do have that background in the law and the information, and so I feel like it would translate well, and that it would be a way for me to give back to the community. I grew up in a family that felt it was important to contribute and give back, whether it was through working in civic organizations or serving on boards within the county or what have you. And so with the experience that I have working education-wise, it felt like to me this was a way that I could contribute. So that's why I'm running. I do have a few ideas as to how I would approach the role. One second, I need my bullet points, or I forget something, So, since I don't have that day-to-day experience within the office itself, I can't stand here and say I know every process. That's something I will need to learn. It takes time, right? So, how would I approach it? If I was selected to be clerk of court,
I have to talk to you later tonight.
so if I was selected to be clerk of court, can y'all hear? Yeah. No problem whatsoever. But so, if I was selected to be clerk of court, I would actively engage in training for the role. I understand that I would need that training in order to get up to speed on all the processes. The clerk of court has a number of duties and responsibilities. It's a lengthy list, both judicial and non-judicial, both within the office, as Ashby was saying, as far as filings and recordings and what have you, but also in the court. So there is a training component there that I would actively engage in. Next thing I would do is I would collaborate and listen to the office team as far as requesting walkthroughs of the processes so I could understand more, talking through and requesting information as far as how they feel that the processes could be improved or what the problems are, and also thinking about it myself and from the things that I've seen in the past with projects and what have you in my work experience, what can I bring to the table that might make things a little bit easier, a little bit more faster, a little bit more efficient that I might be aware of, just because I haven't been in that day-to-day process. I may see something that's a little new. The other things that I would be thinking about is putting together my thoughts on how we can provide the public with better info as far as, let's say you want to come in and obtain a marriage license. What do you need to bring with you? I truly believe our website could be better for the clerk's office. I think we can provide that type of information. What can be added, what could be accessible, so that folks don't have to walk in and ask those questions to know, or call initially, or what have you. There's not necessarily multiple trips. We're in an online world now, so whatever we can provide to make those check-off points, like what do you need to bring, who do I need to call, when do I need an appointment, for what types of things, I think that would be beneficial and something that we could do on the website to improve it. So other items that I would be thinking about, documentation reviews for the processes. What do we have gaps in, what do we not, where can we cross-train, how can we make some items more efficient. After all of that, I'd be thinking about how do we go about this? Let's make a list of to-dos. Let's prioritize those. It will take time for me to learn. It'll take time to go through the walkthroughs and the processes. It will take time to come up with that list and that priority list and put time frames and parameters around it and goals. But I do believe that we can look at things a little bit differently, that the way that I have had training in team management, project management, and what have you would lend well, and that I could potentially bring some level of insight to the office and help the team to develop more efficient and timely processes and make it easier for them. And also, just to improve on time that folks experience when they're trying to access certain materials or to do certain things where they're working with the office, whether it's for real estate transactions or what have you. So I will say that if I'm selected, I will work hard. I'll draw what I learned at my prior employment, and I will focus on the public and the information that's needed and making the clerk's office work for you. So other than that, I don't have a lot of other talking points, primarily until we do questions. I just want to say thank you for listening to me. I appreciate your consideration and possible support, and